Welcome back. Free legal advice now. Today we're in the company of employment lawyer Kieran Dorker, family and divorce lawyer Jamie Gore, and looking after clinical negligence is lawyer Oliver Lewin. So welcome all of you, and let's start straight away with a letter here that says, in 2012 I was off work with depression, and then my father committed suicide. Returned to work a few months later, managed for several months, but I've been signed off ever since. I was told we'd have a meeting about how to manage my return to work when the time came, but this never happened. Occupational health told me my contract would probably end. My condition prevents me asserting myself and my rights. Where do I stand?
Okay, obviously quite a traumatic time for this individual. I think probably this individual is legally disabled under the Equality Act. In order to be protected from discrimination because you're disabled or because of something related to disability, you have to be legally disabled. Likely this individual is. I'm concerned at the lack of support for occupational health, suggesting that he or she won't be able to go back to work. I suggest that they go and see their GP, get referred to a consultant psychiatrist, get some recommendations as to what the employer should be doing to get them back into work. The employer has a duty to take steps to remove barriers, so they should be allowing someone else to come in to help them talk about what their condition is and what they need from the employer to get them back into work.
Okay, thank you very much. Jamie, this one's for you. My partner and I are unmarried and live together with our daughter. I recently received a phone call from a company trying to sell me a will. They told me that even though my partner was on my daughter's birth certificate, if anything were to happen to me, I would still need to go to court to get happen to me. He would still need to go to court to get full custody of our daughter because we're unmarried. Is this true, or is this just sales talk?
Well, this depends on whether their daughter's birth was registered before or after the 1st December 2003. If it was registered after that date, the father will automatically have parental responsibility because he's on the birth certificate. And so by having parental responsibility, he would become the daughter's guardian in the event of the mother's death, unless there were exceptional circumstances. However, if the birth was registered before the 1st December 2003, then he would not automatically have parental responsibility. So if anything were to happen to the mother, in that case he would indeed have to apply to court to become the child's guardian. So what they can do now is to enter into a parental responsibility agreement to prevent him having to do that. And it's a simple form. They can obtain it from the court website and sign it at a family proceedings court.
Right, okay.
Do you need to buy a will or get advice over the phone?
Well, you don't have to. I mean, obviously, if someone calls you up, then, I would probably recommend that you go and see, an independent lawyer first of all, before you kind of take their word for it. Not everyone has to have a will. Obviously, it's recommended to put down your wishes in terms of, what you want to happen after your death.
It can mean it's very complicated after you're gone.
It can be,
yes,
exactly.
But there are simpler ways. You can get very simple wills, can't you?
You can get those, wills from, news agents. However, in themselves, that can have complications because you don't follow the formalities for a will. Then that in itself can, bring up all sorts of issues after death.
All right, thank you. Olive, so my mother-in-law inherited some money, but as she has a serious mental illness, it was put into a trust fund with the company. The company's not releasing her cash. They won't let her make a will, and last year they charged £18,000 alone and £200 per email. We've been fighting for the money for 6 years. There should be about £80,000 left, but it takes months of fighting to get £400 from close for her. What should we do?
They need to contact the Court of Protection. That money should be in the Court of Protection. I cannot understand why it's with a trust company. This lady has mental health issues, and as a result, she cannot look after her own financial affairs. What they need to do is contact the Court of Protection. There's a very helpful website. There are numbers on the website they can call, and the Court of Protection will then put them in touch with solicitors that do Court of Protection work. But that money needs to go into the Court of Protection.
All right,
thank you very much. Karen, this is for you. I went on statutory maternity leave from my job 8 months ago. I don't plan to return as I have nobody to take care of my child, and plan to look for a more suitable job once my child is a bit older. I've been told that if I don't return to work, I'll have to repay the maternity money that I have received. Is this true?
If she receives just statutory maternity pay, that comes from the government, and she does not have to